रूपेण मच्छित्तं पङ्कीकृतमभूद्यया किं करीयस्य सा माया शङ्कराचार्यमाश्रये सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां भारतीकरुणापात्रं भारतीपदभूषणं भारतीपदमारूढं भारतीतीर्थमाश्रये विद्याविनयसम्पन्नं वीतरागं विवेकिनं वन्दे वेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञं विधुशेखरभारतीं मालासुधाकुम्भविबोधमुद्रा विद्याविराजत्करवारिजाताम् अपारकारुण्यसुधाम्बुराशिं श्रीशारदाम्बां प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम्। ॐ वासुदेवेन्द्रयोगीन्द्रं नत्वा ज्ञानप्रदं गुरुं मुमुक्षूणां हितार्थाय तत्त्वबोधो विधीयते। We have completed the third major topic of Tattvabodha, namely the creation. The first major topic is fourfold qualifications of a Vedantic student. The second major topic is the analysis of the individual, vyashti, at micro level. The third major topic, which we have just completed, is the creation, Jagat Srishti, macro level. We saw in this topic that in creation the major part is played by Maya, principle called Maya, which can be roughly defined as the subtlest form of matter, which exists from beginningless time, that is anadihi. That beginningless finest form of matter principle is called Maya, sometimes called Prakritihi, sometimes called Shaktihi, Pradhanam, Avyaktam, Avyakritam. Several names are given to this Maya principle. This Maya is insentient, inert matter principle, which does not have consciousness of its own. Because why matter does not have consciousness of its own? Because by definition itself, matter is the one which does not have consciousness of its own. Therefore, matter cannot have consciousness of its own. This Maya plays a primary role because Maya alone evolves to produce the creation in 4 stages. The first stage is creation of 5 subtle elements, Sukshma Bhutani. Then the evolution of subtle bodies and universe, subtle universe. Then the third stage is evolution of 5 gross elements. And then the last stage is evolution of the gross universe consisting of all gross bodies. Therefore, from this Maya, the subtle, the finest element alone, all these evolution took place in gradual manner. All these are evolutions or modifications or magnification of the subtlest form of matter, Maya. So we can say that Maya is the seed of the universe. Just as a small seed of mango tree, for example, evolves into a huge tree. Similarly, the seed called Maya, that seed alone expands to become the universe. Since the Maya is the seed out of which the entire Jagat comes out, the whole universe must have existed in a seed form even before it evolves, because what did not exist cannot evolve. mango tree evolves out of a mango seed, because the mango tree is in the mango seed in potential form. Not only that, the mango tree comes out of only mango seed, and this mango tree cannot come out of any other seed. For example, a coconut seed, mango tree cannot evolve. Mango tree cannot come out of a coconut seed because this mango tree does not exist in coconut seed in potential form. Therefore, Maya is the seed of the universe, and in the Maya seed alone, the whole universe is in dormant or potential avyakta rupam, and therefore Maya is known by another name, Karana Prapancha, the causal universe, that is, the universe in causal form or dormant form or in potential form or in seed form, you can say. And this Maya, the Karana Prapancha alone, later produces Sukshma Prapancha, Sukshma Sharira, then gross universe, gross elements, then gross universe including gross bodies. Thus we can understand the whole universe in 3 stages of evolution, like understanding the growth of a tree in 3 layers. The seed form, from the seed, the mango tree does not come all of a sudden into a full grown tree. The next day it doesn't come out. Gradually it grows into a plant, and then the plant later on goes into a very, very big tree. So in 3 stages we can understand. In the intermediary stage it is called plant form. Later it becomes a full-fledged tree. Therefore seed grows into a plant and then it becomes a fully grown tree. Causal stage becomes subtle stage, then becomes gross stage. These are the 3 stages. Similarly, we, that is the human beings, we can understand, initially we were in our mother's womb in fetal form, the subtle form, and then suddenly we do not come out of mother's womb with a 70 kilograms 6 foot tall body. It doesn't come out. It is not possible at all. Even to deliver a small baby of 2.5 to 3 kilograms, we know the extent of pain the mother undergoes. So forget about delivering a 70 kilogram 6 foot human body, as it is not possible at all. So it is also in 3 stages: fetal form, the causal form, then the baby form, that is childhood form, and then fully grown adult form. In the same way, the whole universe, initially it was in Karana Prapancha, Maya, in the seed stage. Then it became Sukshma Prapancha, intermediary stage. Then finally Stula Prapancha, this is the final stage. So at macro level, the initial stage was causal universe, then the second stage was subtle universe, and the final one was Stulam, that is gross universe. We must remember, we have divided the individual Vyashti at micro level also into 3 Shariram, 3 bodies at the individual level. At micro level, they are called causal body, not causal universe, causal body, and then subtle body, then finally gross body. All these 6 items, 3 bodies and 3 universes, are inert in nature. In nature, by nature they are material, because they are made up of matter, Maya principle. This threefold microcosm is called Pindandam, and the threefold macrocosm is called Brahmandam. And therefore the author says, he concluded the Srishti chapter by saying Evam Pinda Brahmandayoho Aikyam Sambhutam. Thus we see lot of similarities between individual and the universe, micro and macro level. Both of them are in three stages: causal, subtle and gross. Both, that is bodies and universe, are made up of matter, subject to modification. Both of them are made out of 5 elements, the basic Panchabhutani. So there are a lot of similarities between individual and macro universe level. With this, the topic of creation is finally over. And now let us enter into the fourth major topic, the most important one, which is Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, recognizing the oneness of the essential nature of micro and macrocosm. Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, which is the central theme of Tattvabodha. Not only Tattvabodha, the entire Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, if you take Upanishads, all these scriptures, Puranam, Itihasam, all the scriptures, the central theme is Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam. That we will see now. Sthula Sharirabhimani Jiva Namakam Brahma Pratibimbam Bhavati Sa Eva Jivaha Prakritya Swasmat Ishwaram Bhinnatvena Janati Avidyopadhihi San Atma Jiva Ityuchyate Mayopadhihi San Atma Ishwara Ityuchyate. Therefore, we have seen that we have got the macrocosm consisting of 3 layers of universe. What are they? Causal universe, subtle universe and gross universe. All of them, we should remember, are inert matter principle. Similarly, the 3 layers in microcosm is causal body, subtle body and gross body. When the evolution process was taking place from Maya, the Moola Prakriti, what was happening to Brahman? For some time we did not talk about Brahman at all. The consciousness principle. What was happening? If you analyze, we said nothing happens in Brahman. But in the presence of Brahman only, everything else is happening. Just like the sunlight per se does not do any transaction or any activity. Whereas blessed by the sunlight, all sorts of activities and actions happen around us. All are happening in the presence of sunlight, but sunlight itself does not take part or does not participate in any of the activities that are happening around the sunlight. Similarly, Brahma Chaitanyam or Atma Chaitanyam or simply Atma was not doing anything when the whole evolution is taking place. It is a changeless, formless, attributeless principle. It does not have any property like sound, smell, taste, touch or form. All these are not there in Brahman. Once these 3 universes and 3 bodies have evolved in the presence of Brahman, blessed by Brahman, this matter part, material bodies and universes can serve as a medium of reflection, medium for the manifestation of that consciousness principle. These 3 pairs, What are the pairs? Causal body and causal universe, subtle body and subtle universe, and gross body and gross universe at macro and micro and macro level, are capable of reflecting or manifesting the Atma Chaitanyam. If you keep a mirror which is capable of reflecting the sunlight, if you keep a mirror outside, the mirror by itself does not have any light of its own, but it is capable, that is, it has got the capability or the capacity of taking the reflection of the sunlight. Once the reflection is formed in the mirror, then the reflected sun is available in the mirror, and the mirror itself becomes brilliant. The mirror becomes bright. It becomes a luminous object. By itself, the mirror is not bright or it is not luminous. But once the Surya Pratibimbam, that is the reflection, is formed in the mirror, the non-bright, non-luminous mirror becomes very bright, brilliant. It shines. Non-luminous mirror becomes shining. It becomes so bright with the reflected sunlight, you can even illumine a dark room, isn't it? You can throw the reflected sunlight from the mirror into a dark room by keeping the mirror in such an angle that the sunlight falling onto the mirror gets reflected in the dark room, and the dark room becomes bright. It gets illumined by the sunlight which is falling onto the mirror, which is reflected in the mirror. This reflection from the mirror illumines the dark room not with its original light. Why? Because the mirror by itself does not have any light. It doesn't have brightness of its own. But with the borrowed light, the room becomes bright. Similarly, when the consciousness pervades the three bodies and when the consciousness pervades the three universes, we get reflected consciousness or manifested consciousness in the six media, that is three bodies plus three universe. We call it as medium. That is causal body, causal universe, subtle body, subtle universe, gross body and gross universe. All these three items become reflected medium. Example, the gross body becomes reflecting medium to reflect the consciousness, and the inert matter begins to behave as though it is sentient. This inert matter, this inert body, naturally insentient because it is made up of matter which is insentient, becomes a live sentient body by the reflected consciousness. The life in the body, that is the sentiency of the body, is not the natural consciousness. The sentiency of the body is borrowed consciousness, borrowed from original consciousness which is Atma. Atma lends consciousness, body borrows consciousness, and it behaves as though it is sentient. The body borrows consciousness. Since there are three bodies, there are three reflections. The first reflection is in the causal body, let us give numbers to them so that it is easier for us to understand. Let us call the causal body as reflecting medium number 1, RM1. Whenever I say RM1, it is reflecting medium number 1, which is nothing but the causal body. Similarly, subtle body as reflecting medium number 2, RM2, and gross body as reflecting medium number 3, that is RM3. Similarly, at the macro level, now we saw micro level, now we have to see the macro level. Causal universe as reflecting medium number 4, RM4. Subtle universe as a reflecting medium, RM5. Gross universe as a reflecting medium number 6, we number it as RM6. So, if there is 6 reflecting media, how many reflections will be there? Naturally, it will be 6. If there are 6 mirrors, how many reflected suns we will have? 6 reflections we will have, but the original sun will be only one. It is not SON, you may have more than one sun, but here we are referring only to SUN, sun, the sun, only one sun. But the reflections are many. Therefore, because of plurality of reflecting media, there is plurality of reflecting consciousness also, although we have only one original consciousness. And therefore, we will remember them as reflected consciousness in reflecting medium 1, RM1, as RC1. Reflecting consciousness in RM2 as RC2, and so on and so forth. Finally, the reflecting consciousness in RM6 is RC6. Therefore, at micro level we have 6 pairs. At macro level we have 6 pairs. That is RM1 RC1, RM2 RC2, RM3 RC3 at micro level. At macro level also we have 6 pairs, 6 items, that is 3 pairs, that is RM4 RC4, RM5 RC5 and RM6 and RC6. We should very carefully remember that these are all not mere alphabetical letters with numbers. Only for our understanding, all these are given numbers, we have to understand. RMs are all inert matter principle. RCs are always borrowed consciousness. RC4 is the consciousness which is manifesting at the causal universe, the cosmic intelligence which unifies the entire cosmos. Similarly, in RM5 we have reflected consciousness 5, and in the gross universe we have RC6. For all of them, Shastra gives special names. RC1 at micro level is called Prajnaha, reflected consciousness reflecting in medium 1 at causal level, causal body level 1, which is called Prajnaha. And RC4 is called Antaryami at macro level. RC2 is called Taijasa. RC5 is called Hiranyagarbha at macro level. At micro level, RC3 is called Vishwaha in our Shastra, and RC6 at macro level is called Virat. And both are one Atma only. Original consciousness is one. Atma, Brahman only. Reflections are many. Reflections are many because media are many. But original consciousness is only one. These micro reflections consisting of Prajnaha, Taijasa and Vishwaha, all these put together is called Jivatma. Therefore, Jivatma is the name of Prajnaha plus Taijasa plus Vishwaha. Whereas the group consisting of macro reflections, Antaryami plus Hiranyagarbha plus Virat, is called Ishwara. Put together is called Paramatma or Ishwara. With this, I will conclude. The next we will see in the next class. Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.